everyone, it's Lottie from Cancer is a Lifestyle. So everywhere I go, I get asked questions about my ovarian cancer. Women just want to know because it's really the silent killer. There's not that many symptoms that we can go by, you know, um, to question whether or not we got ovarian cancer. I mean, when you feel a lump, you know that you got to go to get that checked out, so in case you have breast cancer. But it's not the same for when you have ovarian cancer. So my number one question that I've always been asked, I've already done a blog on that, and that is on, how did you find out you had ovarian cancer? So I did a whole blog on that. I am not going to do it again today. So please go back to my playlist and you can listen to it then. But today I want to cover the next four. Okay? So number 2. What is the one thing you wish people would stop asking you about your cancer? One thing I've noticed is that people think, now here I've had it 4 times, right? It came back 4 times. And I'm going to tell you that people basically think that when I'm done with treatment that it's over. Okay? You are healed completely. You've kicked cancer's butt and it's over and done with. Well, that's just not how it is. Especially if you have a reoccurring cancer like I do. So I guess it's just more frustrating when people like keep asking me, well, aren't you done with it already? I mean, you had cancer years ago. It's over. So, why did it come back? Didn't they take the tumor out? No. Yeah, they took the tumor out, but it just grows back. So I think that's more frustrating, is just trying to explain to people that once we have cancer, that we're always kind of dealing with it. That reoccurrence is always at the back of our mind, that it can come back, and that you're not just 100% cured. In fact, I don't think any doctor ever tells you that you are 100% cured. So that is one thing that I guess people would. And then, another thing is that after our treatment, we're not back to normal 100% health. There are a lot of side effects, and we are not the same. So when people assume that we're back to normal, we're not back to normal. I mean, a lot of us have, arthritis issues. We have, I know people that are actually end up, not only with arthritis, but they have a lot of bone issues, they lose a lot of density in their bone. They're dragging their legs. It's just a lot of issues that come with cancer. So number 3, what advice you wish someone had given you when you were first diagnosed? Well, you know what I wish? I wish I had someone that would kind of tell me how serious cancer really was. I was just so naive. I really did not even, I treated cancer like you treat a cold, or how you go in for a hysterectomy, or you go get your appendix out. I just did not understand how life-threatening it is, actually, because it is a very serious illness, and I just wish that somebody had kind of I kick myself every time I think about it, because I feel like I wasted 4.5 years of just living in this bubble, and smelling roses, and catching butterflies, where I thought everything was okay and I'm healed. And no, I did not do any research. I did not check anything out. I just kind of, I could have been probably so much more smarter and prepared for that second time, or for all the other recurrences that happened. So yeah, I wish that I was better prepared. I wish that somebody sat me down and said, hey, you could die from this, but that's just not how I looked at it. I just treated it like it was I went to get my appendix out, and I was in for a rude awakening. So number 3, or number 4, are we in number 4? Yeah. What do you want people to know about your chronic illness? Well, for one thing, I do want people to know that just because you've been diagnosed and you're going through treatment, like I've gone through it 4 times, I'm not making light of it now. I may have, treated it very lightly before, But let me tell you, I understand very well what cancer does now. So that makes me want to enjoy my life even more. So if I wanted people to know anything, is that you can still live your life. I am still working. I am actively involved in a lot of different activities. I have a blog that I write. I YouTube now. I have a chronic illness group. I have a crocheting ministry. I have grown children that I visit. There are, you can still go on living. It is not the end of the world. Yes, I am in a lot of pain sometimes. Yes, I have to go through treatment occasionally, back and forth all the time, it seems. And yeah, it's frustrating and irritating, and I have a doctor appointments all the time that I'm always being tested, and it's irritating. Yeah, of course it is. But I'm not going to stop living. I am not going to, just, sit in a house and not talk to people, or I am going to be out there living my life to my last breath. And that's what I want people to know about cancer. That it doesn't matter if you're stage 4 or stage 3 or stage 2. I have seen people that were stage 1, and somewhere down the line they ended up having infections, and then it came back and then went to stage 4 and they passed away. It doesn't, it's not even the stage. You can still live your life, okay? And that's what I really want, and anybody watching, on my YouTube channel, to see that you can still do and live your most purposeful life. It is not over. And keep fighting, and keep living. Life is meant to be lived, and I am not going to stop until my last breath. So so the last question, what are your worries? Well, my worries have changed over the years. My worries right now are more based, okay, if it comes back again for the 5th time, I'm just waiting for it to come back. And then when it does, do I have enough money saved? I did a vlog on that too. How long can I continue working? The future is what always kind of worries me, is that, I'm going to continue living. I'm going to, cancer is part of my life. It's going to come and go. Most likely, hopefully, it doesn't come back again. That'd be wonderful. But I have to always be in preparation for it. And my worry is always, am I going to be able to take care of myself? Am I going to, my quality of life, what will it be? And that is very important, because I don't want to be locked away. I don't want to be hooked up to machines, and I don't want to be, morphined away. I want to live a life, a purposeful life. So that is always, something that I have to prepare for, is, financially, and I want to be able to work as long as I can and continue to be an able body for as long as I can. So those are my worries, So I hope this shows you a little bit to my personal side about cancer and my life here with it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you, hit the thumbs up and comment below. I would love to know if you have any chronic illnesses, and how do you deal with them? There are so many of us living with a chronic illness, and cancer is not just the only chronic illness. If you have lupus or MS or, arthritis, anything that you have to deal with constantly. We are just, there's so many people out there with different kinds of issues. And you know what? And I've not found this out in my chronic illness group, that we all have the same worries, we all have the same questions, we all have the same struggles, even though we all may have a different disease. Alright, so please comment below, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching.